This right here is parallax. And this is a filmmaking technique that you can use to create depth and really make your footage stand out. So the parallax effect is when you create two different planes of motion and they're moving at different speeds. So for this shot right here, I have a subject, which is myself, and I'm spinning around that subject with my drone, and the background is moving faster. And when you use this effect, it creates a very dynamic look with your footage. And it's actually pretty easy to achieve. Now, you can use a drone, you could use a gimbal, you could use something like a slider, you could even handhold your camera, but it will be a little bit wobbly when you do this effect. The idea is that you want to have a subject or whatever it is that you're filming closer to your camera, and you want to make sure that your background is a distance away. So you don't want to have your subject close to a building or close to a wall, because it's not going to have the same effect as if you're shooting like a landscape way out in the distance and you have mountains way out there or something else. So how you perform this move is you start on one side of your subject and you move 180 degrees to the other side of your subject, or you go in a full 360. It doesn't really matter, but you just want to be able to move from one side to another. And in that process, you're going to keep your subject centered the entire time. And so you could either move in a straight line and you're basically creating an arc swinging back and forth, or you could use like an orbit effect or a circle where you're going just completely around the subject and you're keeping the same distance from you and that subject. And what happens is when your subject is closer to the camera, you're seeing a different background when you swing around them. You're creating a completely different look. And in the process of doing that, you're gonna see a lot of motion in the background, but the perceived motion of your subject is much slower because you only see a little bit of movement as you arc around. And when you use the parallax effect, you create a lot of attention to that subject. It creates a lot of focus. Now, there's different ways you can perform this. You could use a wide lens and get really close to your subject, or you could step back and use a longer lens and really focus in on the subject. Personally, I like the effect of using a long lens on something like a drone or a gimbal, because when you use a long lens, the background is going to be moving much faster. And when you pair this with an ND filter and you create motion blur, you create really dynamic footage that has this very cinematic quality. Now next, you need to make sure that you check out this video right here. It goes through 10 different drone moves, and parallax is one of those effects that you can use when you're out filming, even when you're by yourself.